Good evening and welcome. Welcome to the Rialto Unified School District regular meeting of the Board of Education, November the 15th, 2023 at the Dr. John Casaluna Education Center, 182 East Walnut Avenue, Rialto, California. Member present, Stephanie Lewis, President, Mr. Joseph Martinez, Clerk, Ms. Evelyn Dominguez, Member, and our Superintendent, Dr. Gloria. Any individual requiring disability-related accommodations or modification, including auxiliary aids and services, in order to participate in the board meeting should contact the superintendent designee in writing. Open session called to order at 6:01. And we have a closed session as provided by law. The following items for discussion and consideration at the closed session of the board meeting is public employee, discipline, dismissal, release, reassignment of employee, government code section 54957, student expulsion, reinstatement, expulsion, enrollment, conference with labor negotiators, agency designated representative, Dr. Avila, superintendent, lead personnel agent, Ms. Rhonda Kramer, Ms. Roxanne Dominguez, and Mr. Armando Ortega, personnel, services, employee organization, California School Employee Association, Chapter 203, CSEA, Rialto Education Association, REA, Communication Workers of America, CWA, pursuant to Government Code Section 54956.9D and or D3, conference with legal counsel, anticipated litigation, significant exposure litigation, number of potential claim 1. Closed session agenda items. Any person wishing to speak on any items on the closed session agenda will be granted 3 minutes.
We do not have any.
Okay, do we have a motion?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
Okay. Vote by Ms. Dominguez, board member.
Aye.
Mr. Montez, board
Aye.
member. Mr. Martinez, clerk.
Aye.
And Lewis, aye. And the time is 6:02. Evening. Welcome. Do we have a motion to move out of closed session?
So moved. Second.
Okay, vote by member. Board Member Dominguez,
Aye.
Board Member Montez,
Aye.
Board Clerk Martinez,
Aye.
and Lewis, aye, and the time is 7:10. And we're going to have our student board member, Ms. Kane Galazzo, open the meeting for us.
Good evening, everyone. We have a special presentation tonight by Kelly Elementary School. But first, let's welcome Kelly, fourth grade dual language immersion student Camila Romo, to lead us in the pledge.
Please stand. Place your right hand over your heart. Ready, begin. I pledge of allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, in liberty and justice for all.
Thank you.
Thank you, Camila. Tonight, in honor of Veterans Day, which just passed, our Kelly Koalas salute the brave men and women and their own families who have served in our military. Please help me welcome student leaders from 2nd and 5th graders who will sing Hero's Song.
Just as the morning sun comes up, I'm waking from my sleep. I have the peace of knowing that you are there protecting me. Faithfully there both day and night, keeping our land secure. Bravely doing what is right. Who could ever ask for more? And though the world seems long, I will sing endlessly to thank you for your service and all you gave for Over the air, on land and sea, lending a watchful eye, keeping the bells of liberty ringing as the years go by. Now as the sun prepares to set, ending another day, you kept us free and safe again. That is why we stand and sing. And though the world seems long, I will sing endlessly to thank you for your service and all you gave for me. And though the world seems long, I will sing endlessly to thank you for your service and all you gave for me. To thank you for your service and all you gave for me. Muy buenas tardes a todos y gracias por permitirnos el día de hoy representar a nuestra escuela primaria Kelly. En esta noche haremos un tributo a todos los veteranos por sus contribuciones a la seguridad de nuestro país. Good evening, everyone, and thank you for allowing us to represent Kelly Elementary School today. Tonight, we will pay tribute to all veterans for their contributions to the security of our country. A continuación, les daré una reseña del Día de los Veteranos. El 11 de noviembre está dedicado a todos quienes prestaron sus honores en el servicio militar en tiempos de guerra o paz. El Departamento de Defensa explica que es por esta razón que se consideró al 11 de noviembre día de 1918, el día que acabó la guerra y se llamó Día de Armisticio. Next, I'll give you a summary of Veterans Day. November 11 is dedicated to all the heroes past and present who have served in the military in times of war or peace. The Department of Defense explains that it is for this reason that November 11, 1918 was considered the day the war ended and was called Armistice Day. Gracias a todos nuestros héroes pasados y presentes por su valentía en defender a nuestro país. Gracias por apreciamos su servicio. Enseguida nuestra escuela cantará una adaptación de la canción a los héroes, cantada por los alumnos del tercer grado de la escuela primaria Tussing. Thank you to all of our heroes, past and present, for your bravery in defending our country. We appreciate your service. Next, our school will sing an adaptation of the song To the Heroes sung by the third grade students, Tussing Elementary School.
That was awesome. He reads better than me.
Thank you guys. You guys did awesome.
Thank you, parents, for supporting and teachers, your young scholars.
Thank you, students, families, Principal Dr. Vince Rollins, Assistant Principal Dr. Elizabeth Reyes Aceituno, DLI teacher Ms. Elsa Hernandez, Instructional Strategist Mrs. Sasha Lindblom, and we salute all our veterans who have sacrificed and served our country. Thank you. Go Koalas!
Do we have report out of closed session?
We have no reports out of closed session.
May we have a motion to adopt the agenda?
So
Motion
moved.
to adopt the agenda. Second.
Okay. Vote by Student Board Member Kane Galazzo.
Aye.
Board Member Dominguez.
Aye.
Board Member Montez.
Aye.
Board Clerk Martinez.
Aye.
And Lewis, aye. And thank you, Ms. Galazzo, for opening our meeting. District Student Advisory.
Oh, okay. So for DSAC, our first speaker is Mr. Anthony Alvarez from Rialto High School.
Good evening, Board President Lewis, Honorable Board of Education, Superintendent Dr. Avila, and viewing audience. I'm Anthony Alvarez, ASB President from Rialto High School, home of the Knights. There's so much to celebrate in the castle. Last month, Rialto held its Home Sweet Homecoming, and our Knights grew in pride as they participated in multiple spirit days, lunch activities, the football game, and dance. Congratulations to seniors Breon Brooks and Carlos La Torre for being crowned the 2023 Homecoming Queen and King. These outstanding leaders were nominated by their peers and the Rialto staff for their excellence, leadership, and school spirit. Our Link crew organized a thrilling spooky spirit week, infusing our school with enchanting Halloween ambiance. Students and staff alike donned seasonal spirit gear and engaged in spirited activities throughout the week. To show our appreciation to our most spirited staff members, ASB spirit bombed the rooms of Ms. Diaz, Ms. Gutierrez, Mr. Sanchez, and Mr. Ramirez with posters and balloons. The Visual and Performing Arts program is showcasing its extraordinary talents through the holidays. The fall play, 10 Ways to Survive a Zombie Apocalypse, is captivating audiences with its stellar performances through Friday. Our marching band executed an exciting halftime show at homecoming and competed in a championship last weekend. And lastly, the fall choir showcase on the 8th will bring harmonious melodies, highlighting the vocal skills of our talented choir and our HS alumni. Rialto's CTE business program hosted the first Project Billionaire Small Business Expo to highlight current students in entrepreneurship before the holiday season. These nights had booths to showcase their businesses to others, build the clientele, and share the message of supporting locally owned businesses. As the fall sports season drew to a close, our football team ended on a high note with an exciting game against Carter. The game was a real no-biter, keeping everyone on the edge of their seats. In the end, Rialto won with a close score of 19-16. And our ladies cross-country team also ended their season clinching the San Andreas title again and advancing to CIF. Winter sports has started this week, and everyone is super excited for another electric season from our winter sports teams. We can't wait to cheer them on and hope for a successful season. Join our ASB leaders at Barnes & Noble's in Redlands this Saturday for a heartwarming book fair event. We're spreading the holiday spirit by offering free gift wrapping services to make your holiday shopping a breeze. Come support our school while we help you neatly package your presents. Every in-store purchase contributes to covering the expenses we utilize throughout the year. After fall break, we have 2 donation drives starting. We're organizing a winter wear clothing drive, collecting warm gear like beanies, socks, and gloves to help those in need stay cozy during the chilly months. We are also holding our annual new toy drive to provide smiles to local families in need during the holidays. Every year, the anticipation builds in our community as the annual City of Rialto Holiday Parade approaches. ASB is creating a magical flow of glittering lights, vibrant colors, and decorations. As the parade winds its way through the streets of downtown, look for our ASB leaders to be singing and spreading happiness within our community. As you can see, we have a lot to celebrate and honor at Rialto High. As we move into serving our community for the remainder of this quarter, we are focused on giving back, and we plan to continue the momentum of building up and highlighting our students and staff while striving for academic excellence. Keep the lights on, Knights. Thank you.
Thank you.
Next, we have Miss Michaela Lopez from Eisenhower High School.
Good evening, Board President Lewis, distinguished members of the board, Superintendent Dr. Avila, viewing audience. My name is Michaela Lopez, and I'm so excited to have the honor of being this year's ASB ambassador. I'm excited to show you some exciting things happening and will be happening at the home of the Eagles. Starting off with our academic highlight, in these past months, Eagle seniors have been hard at work submitting their Cal State and UC applications, with over 143 seniors already submitting and so many others close behind. We also held a Reality Bites workshop in our gym November 2nd, where CT students participated in interactive lessons hosted by Chafee Credit Union. These lessons gave students a chance to deal with real-life situations involving finance, family, the hard choices that come with them. Now, the athletic highlight, our girls volleyball team made it to CIF, as well as our football team cross country, where our football team finished in first place in their league, undefeated. Our extracurricular activity highlight was our annual Haunted Maze that took place from October 27th to October 31st. This maze is designed, built, and hosted by ASB students. We invited all freshmen for free to preview the day before, and then is open to all of our other students. This event is always something every Eagle looks forward to during the spooky season. Lastly, a few things coming up is our Winter Festival on December 6th, followed by our band winter concert that evening, our drama winter production November 29th, 30th, and December 1st, and our choir winter concert December 8th and 9th. Once again, thank you for your time. I'm Michaela Lopez, and remember, Eagles continue to soar.
Mr. Diego Aguirre from Myler High School.
Greetings, Board President Lewis, Board of Education, Superintendent Dr. Oliva, Innovation Team, and viewing audience. My name is Diego Aguirre, and I stand before you as a proud representative for DSAC of Myler High School. I'd like to share some exciting updates from Myler High School and Zupanic Virtual Academy. During our second quarter, I would like to highlight some activities from October and November thus far. In October, we celebrated our College and Career Week, which included student study trips to Cal State San Bernardino Valley College, as well as Chaffey College. College and Career Week on campus included participation and booths where San Joaquin Valley College, the Blue Foundation, Chaffey College, Caltrans, IE Works, California Conservation Corps, and San Bernardino Valley College for coming to our campus with excellent information and opportunities for our students. November also included one of 2 annual blood drives held on campus by live stream. And it was a great success as we were able to collect blood and donate to Arrowhead Regional Medical Center. When looking ahead at wrapping this second quarter, we will celebrate our graduates with a whole campus student barbecue at lunch, graciously hosted by Nutrition Services. Finally, as we usher into quarter 2, we are excited to start our annual holiday canned food drive with all donations being given to Nutrition Services for the betterment of Rialto Unified students and families. In conclusion, I'd like to remind everyone that we are Myler and Zupanic, where our PBIS beliefs are responsible, respectful, focused, and safe and define our school culture. We are committed to fostering an environment where our students can thrive. Thank you so much for your attention. This is why Myler is number 1.
Mr. Juan Loza from Carter High School.
Good evening, Board President Lewis, Board of Education, Superintendent Dr. Avila, and viewing audience. I'm Juan Loza, ASB President for Carter High School. This past month, Carter has been participating in various successful and diverse activities. On October 17th, Carter Junior and Seniors participated in Joe Baca Jr.'s College and Career Day at the San Bernardino Government Center. On Tuesday, October 31st, Carter High School celebrated over 600 students who participated in the site's Spring 2023 Honor Roll Assembly. All students had access to a host of activities and games as they celebrated their success and recognition with their friends. On Tuesday, November 14th, 5 CHS Mesa students attended Knott's Berry Farm's Physics Day for being among the top 5 roller coaster winners of 25 high schools in San Bernardino and Riverside counties. For their roller coaster called Round 2. Carter Lions are working hard to meet their instructional goals and expectations placed on them by their classroom teachers. This semester, over 150 students have completed a host of Apex classes to fulfill their graduation requirements, with an additional 190 students to complete courses by the end of the semester. November is a busy month for our counseling department as well as our College and Career Center. On November 1st and yesterday, November 14th, selected and willing students participated in CSU Apply Day. Over 100 students took advantage of our very own Rialto Unified CSU application fee waiver, and over 150 students submitted their Cal State applications along with myself. This Thursday, November 16th, is one of our many UC application workshop days, where students have the opportunity to receive assistance on their UC applications. On November 28th, students will participate in our UC Apply Day, where they will complete and submit their applications to various universities of California campuses. This month, we've also held presentations from various junior colleges and universities to provide more detailed information for our own Carter Lions. On October 25th, our students had a fantastic time at Carter's own Senior Pumpkin Patch, where students participated in various activities such as pumpkin painting, a photo booth, and a pumpkin pie eating contest that I unfortunately lost. Our wellness club held a lunchtime activity of a thankful tree, where leaves with comments of appreciation were placed on the tree. Moreover, to emphasize what our Carter Lions are thankful for this Friday, ASB will be holding a lunchtime activity where students and staff can place their handprints to show their gratitude. This year, several CHS organizations, such as National Honor Society, are participating in various canned food drives to support local food banks and give back to our community. For athletics, this girls cross-country team had a successful end to their season on November 10th at CIF Regionals hosted by Mount Sac. The team qualified the last 2 years for CIF, the best placement of the girls team in Carter's history. They placed 4th last year in the league and moved to 3rd this year, despite only having 3 returners. The SRLA marathon team completed their 15K 9.3 mile training race on Sunday at Lake Balboa's Woodley Park. Completion of this training race is considered an integral part of the team moving forward. Nike sponsors our runners and provides them with running shoes to complete the season after the race. After a few years, the Carter Wrestling Classic is back. On Saturday, November 18th, over 12 high schools will participate in individual and team wrestling events. Thank you so much for your time and the opportunity of allowing me to share the amazing things that are happening at Carter High School. On behalf of all of us at Carter, we hope you have a great rest of your night. Have a wonderful and restful fall break. Don't forget to roar.
Thank you to all our DSAC students.
Thank you so much. I want to ask the board, could we switch and do the key to the district now? So go ahead and do B3, and so excited, and then we'll have our Citizen Bond Oversight Committee.
I don't know how I'm going to follow our students. They are doing so well at speaking, and they just amaze me. And those new jackets, they are a sight to behold. Just thank you. Okay, tonight we have a key, my key to the district, and it's going to go to Gloria Macias Harrison. She is a magnanimous Latina. Since the early 1960s, Harrison has successfully balanced 2 careers, her family life and community activism. I've known Gloria for decades, and whether she is directly or indirectly impacting students in the Rialto Unified School District, she has stood clear in her stance to help all students. Tonight, I am thankful to her for her accomplishments and her support for Rialto students and our community. Gloria is one of the founders of an alternative press, El Chicano. Since 1969, over 54 years, this newspaper has addressed the need to have a Chicano voice in the Inland Empire. Today, El Chicano is published weekly, along with 2 other community weekly newspapers that make up the family publishing business in San Bernardino County. Gloria served as the first Latina president of Crafton Hills College from July 1st, 2000 until her retirement on July 3rd of 2012. Her previous 8-year assignment was as Vice President of Instruction at Crafton Hills College. She also served as Dean of Humanities at San Bernardino Valley College for 3 years. Could I have my water, please? She has accumulated over 20 years of community college teaching experience. Thank you very much. Now I get to spill it. She has accumulated over 20 years of community college teaching experience. In 2012, Gloria was elected to the San Bernardino Community College Board of Trustees and was re-elected to her 3rd term and 2020. She served as chair of the board in 2021 through 2022 and sits on the budget committee. Additionally, Gloria is a member of Kiwanis. Thank you. The American Association of University Women, AAUW, the League of Women Voters, and the Redlands Democratic Club, a member of the California Housing Foundation, and served on the following boards: Emeritus Board for the Inland Empire Community Foundation, serving Riverside and San Bernardino counties. The former and late Congressman George E. Brown Legacy Project, the San Bernardino Symphony Association and Guild, the Valley Concert Association, and the Crafton Hills College Foundation. She is also a member of several city and school district strategic planning and advisory committees. She was a governor's appointee to the California Commission on the Status of Women and served on the California Council for the Humanities and numerous state committees on education. She is the recipient of numerous awards, including an award from the Black Rose Foundation for her community service. The NAACP honored Gloria and her late sister, Martha Macias Brown, for their philanthropic work through the years. Gloria's history as an activist includes work with groups seeking integration of the San Bernardino City Unified School District, the War on Poverty, United Farm Workers Association, Operation Second Chance, and Planned Parenthood. Additionally, she and her husband, the late Bill Harrison, supported many conservation and environmental advocacy groups and nonprofits. What do you do in your spare time? I know. When Gloria was born in San Bernardino, where she attended public schools, she earned her Associate of Arts degree from San Bernardino Valley College and her Bachelor of Arts and then her Master of Arts degrees in Spanish literature from UCR. With her late husband, Bill Harrison, who passed away last September, she has 2 children, a daughter, the late Diana Macias Harrison, and a son, William Harrison. She is also the doting grandmother of William Alexander and Gabriella Rose Harrison. For us in Rialto, Gloria served for decades as a publisher for the Rialto Record and Colton Courier. She was firm in supporting positive news coverage, promoting the success of our students and staff. Additionally, when Superintendent Dr. Avila asked Gloria to be a part of the district's initial implementation of the strategic planning team over 6 years ago, she was excited to serve. From the moment I met Gloria, she has exuded intelligence, class, strength, and passion to help where she is needed. She is a strong advocate for education and has always considered her platform to be supporting students. For all these reasons and more, I feel, and I am sure I am not alone, you are deserving of my key to the district. Thank you for all you have done and will continue to do for our students and community. Ms. Harrison, please join me up here. Do you have a few words?
I was told I only have 3 minutes, so I'm going to make it brief. I have a long association with the Rialto School District. My baby sister attended elementary school in the Rialto School District. I have a nephew who graduated from Eisenhower High School. And I had a lot of friends who, in the days when I was in high school, there was no high school in Rialto, and they all attended San Bernardino High School. And so I had a lot of friends who came from Rialto. But more importantly, I got my first teaching job in Rialto. Don't get excited, don't get excited. It wasn't a contract, and it was all volunteer. But Dr. Myler and Dr. Garcia at the time had a special program of teaching fourth graders after-school Spanish. It was strictly volunteer. And so he picked fourth-year Spanish students from San Bernardino Valley College to volunteer to be the teachers. And we received some wonderful training from Dr. Garcia and a lot of encouragement, of course, from Dr. Myler, who had taught at one time and been the principal of West Side schools in San Bernardino. So, and he had organized a ballet folklorico and all kinds of wonderful stuff. Dr. Myler was wonderful. Anyway, that was my first teaching experience, and I received the best training I have ever received in my whole life from Dr. Garcia. And of course, he became my mentor and encouraged me and pushed me out of the nest a lot of times. You know how you have to be pushed out, very comfortable in the classroom. I will say that I also had a negative experience with the Rialto School District. One summer, when I was teaching at Valley College, I got talked into teaching a summer session at Eisenhower for students who were making up classes. And every student in there was taller than I was and louder than I was. And it made me keep to my community college teaching job. But I learned a lot. And I have to say that I was very proud and very grateful to be part of your planning process. I learned so much. It isn't just being an active person and, going through the exercises and going through the routines and all of that. It's the learning that you get that you can use then in somewhere else. And it was very helpful to me because the Community College Board of Trustees was also going through a planning process. And so the experience that I had with that was excellent. I knew what to look for when we were doing our own planning process. It was excellent. And I really appreciate the fact that you invited me back when you did a Where Are We Now? And I marveled at the freedom that your staff had, faculty, administrators, of saying, this is what we wanted to do, but we didn't get there because of this, and this is how we're going to change. So it became a living thing instead of a document that gets put on the shelf somewhere. I mean, I just so impressed with that. And recently I saw, because I'm a big Facebook person, for my age, I guess I'm not so much Twitter and all of that other stuff, but Facebook is my home. I saw where you included a training session for parents, and you had your first class graduation. I was so impressed with that. Because my dad, and I was reared by a grandmother and an uncle. Today, my sister and I would have been classified as foster children. And so my grandmother, who barely could write her name, right, from León, Guanajuato, Mexico, but she attended at Alessandro Elementary School, which still exists, every PTA meeting, everything. And of course, I was sitting next to her to be the translator. And I asked her once why she came when she couldn't really understand everything. But she said that she could get a feeling of the faculty and the staff from just being there. And that she wanted everybody to know that her two girls had support from the family. And she was there to be our support, and at least physically, if she couldn't participate. And so I remember that. And I have to tell you a little story. I'm sorry. Am I 3 minutes up? No, not yet? Okay. My grandmother was so proud of me because one of my elementary school teachers, and they were fantastic. I don't care what you say about West Side stories. I had the most fantastic teachers who were very encouraging and gave me a lot of opportunities. One of them, Mrs. Mix, did not have any daughters. So every year, her church put together a tea, a mother and daughter tea. And every year she would pick one student from her class to go with her. And I was picked that year. And so my grandmother was very, very proud of the whole thing. She dressed me up on my Sundays going to church clothes. And she wanted to make sure that I didn't go into the church itself because she didn't want me to come home being a Protestant because we were Catholic. And she wanted to know exactly what was served, everything, all the details. My grandmother was very good about that. And so I came home and I told her, you know, we had these little sandwiches and we had these little cookies and we had tea. And her conclusion from that was, oh my gosh, Senora Mix goes to a very poor church, right? They can't even afford to have regular sandwiches. So after that, at least once a week, my grandmother would fix something for Mrs. Mix to take home as food because she obviously went to a very poor church. But this was, you know, her way of being a participant in my education. I cannot tell you the value that that all of you have on the lives of the children, because it is the children who are our hope for the next generation. It is the children that are our hope for our country. It is the children who are going to be the people who are going to be our caretakers. For all intents and purposes, you know, that's what it is. And they're the ones who are going to keep our democracy alive. And so every opportunity that you have, and it doesn't make, it can be somebody who is a janitor. There was a lady at Valley College who cleaned the bathrooms and all of that, and she knew all of us in North Hall and she said, how did class go today? That kind of stuff. And I have a medal in my jewelry case that is really old, and the ribbon is even faded and everything. It came from the American Legion post at the time in my area, and I got it as a ninth grader at Franklin Junior High, which is now Martin Luther King. And so I have kept that all these years because there was somebody who believed in me in the community, somebody in the community who believed in me. It gave me a great deal of encouragement. And so everything that we can do to open doors, to provide opportunities, not just scholarships, it could be this, it could be a piece of paper, it could be my faded little medal that I have from the American Legion. Those are the things that encourage us when we are down as students. And so much of the world sometimes keeps us down. And so we look at those things and we say, somebody believed in me. Not just family, because family, you know, they're supposed to like me. But it's somebody outside of the family. And I appreciate this. I don't deserve it because there are a lot of people who came in that planning session who constantly, you know, are promoting what you do here in this community. And it's a tough job you have. It's a tough job you have. And I know it from experience and from being a classroom teacher, a middle administrator, and a senior administrator. It is a tough job. And Dr. Avila, I'm still waiting for you to invite me to your nonprofit foundation for the Rialto School District. So you better get on it. Okay? Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
Let's do this official part now.
Okay.
For the picture.
For the picture? We have to
Yes,
get over here.
yes. First, here's a paper that you value so much.
As you may know, given my husband's illness and now his passing, we sold our business after 50-some years to two of our employees, which is the right thing to do because they know what to do. And so the new publishers, and one of them is here tonight, and his name is Manny Sandoval. And if he doesn't cover you well, call me. Come on. Say hi.
Well, I had no clue I was going to be talking today, but yeah, good to meet you all if I haven't already met you. It's exciting, and yeah, I've been in this journalism space and public relations since I was about 19 years old, and a decade later, being able to write, well, not just write, but co-own the publication that I was 19 when I started writing with is really cool. So yeah, it's great to cover items all over the, Inland Empire, and looking forward to continuing doing it and spreading the good work that you all do. Cool, thank you.
You know, when you have wisdom and a legend, it's always good to listen and drink from your cup. And we appreciate Mr. Martinez for recognizing you and for all the work that you've done and the legacy, even passing on your prized possession to a trusted employee. I mean,
He does that Twitter and stuff.
yes. So we appreciate it. And I'm going to ask for our Citizen Bond Oversight Committee. Thank you for accommodating the change in program. Presentation on the 2022 to 2023 Citizen Bond Oversight Committee, and a report, Measure Y, by Michelle Sanchez, Committee Chair.
Good evening, everyone. For those of you who don't know me, I'm Michelle Sanchez. I've been retired a couple of years now and got back to work on the Bond Oversight Committee now that I don't work for the school district. So this is the 22-23 annual report, which covers Measure Y. The new one, Measure A, did I remember that right? Measure A, they took out some funds this year in July, but it won't be included in this report. So you guys all have your copy of this?
Yes.
So on page 2 are the names of the community members that volunteer for this committee, and the funds, to make sure that the funds are spent in accordance with the bond that was approved by the voters. On page 3, there's some background on Measure Y. That was approved in 2010. That was a little earlier for $98 million. The obligation bond 4 series were sold on that one. The last was Series D in 2019. The annual report, like I said, is focused on Measure Y for the timeframe of 2022 to 2023. And there's an update on the most recent bond that was approved by the voters in 2022 for $340 million. The first issuance of bonds were sold this year in July for that one. On page 3, ID Bailey is the audit firm that conducts the annual financial and performance audit. Page 4 is a summary of the Series C expenditures. Couple of the projects listed at Carter High School, the shade structures, and at Myler, the kitchen project. And at the end of 22-23 fiscal year, there was an ending balance of 91, is that million? No, 1,000, right? Okay, that's what I was thinking. There's not enough zeros on there. That will be used for the Eisenhower High School project. That's the 2-story building that's being built. Has anybody been by there and seen all the dirt?
Yes.
They're humming right along.
Beautiful.
And page 5 is a summary of the Series D expenditures on here. The projects listed for this series are the marquees, the Eisenhower 2-story building, and some the classrooms for the 2-story building. And for those of you that attended the groundbreaking, thank you very much. And the adjusted balance is 0 because all of that money is encumbered for that project. Page 5 has, oh, wait a minute, did that one. Page 6 and 7 and 8, there's pictures of the projects. There's all of you throwing some dirt. And the gym, the new gym at Eisenhower, my alma mater. four of my children's alma mater, so it's kind of close to my heart. Eisenhower is. Although I worked at Rialto High School for a long time. I love them too. Carter, I'm getting with those guys up there. So there's frequently asked questions on the remaining pages of the report. There are samples of the calculations that the assessor used, in case you're interested in finance and want to look at those. And let's see. For the 1999 bond measure as well. If there's additional questions, tax questions, the public can always call the county assessor's office as well, and they'll give you even more information. And if you have bond-related questions, I've been asked to tell everyone to contact facilities regarding any questions they might have regarding the bond. And I'm here just to fulfill the obligation for having a bond to present this to the board. There's no action needed on this report at this time. And if you have any questions for probably Diane, she'll be happy to answer them, or if it's something I can answer, I would answer that as well. You guys good?
Thank you for your oversight and taking the lead on
Well,
this.
it's near and dear to my heart as well.
Yes, yes.
So thank you very much for the opportunity to present. Good evening, everyone.
Next, we'll have comments, public comments not on the agenda. At this time, any person wishing to speak on items not on the agenda will be granted 3 minutes.
We have Michael Montano.
Good evening, everyone in attendance and viewing audience at home. Teacher and resident of Rialto. When I was young, I loved magic shows, but they were tricks or illusions and not real magic. A disappearing act is among the favorite of many, but again, they're just magic tricks. If something could really disappear, that would be real magic. After having gone through the level 1 PROACT training, I can see where this training can help real magic happen. This training will help crises truly disappear by preventing them from ever happening. And although easier said than done, it is something that we should work toward. However, going through this training points to where our district falls short in carrying out fidelity and led to some questions. With PROACT being used in our district for so long, why is it taking so long to get to the teachers? For all that security prevents, addresses, and helps students to mature, why do we not have more of them? To fully understand the scope of what PROACT can do for our teachers and students, I feel that the innovation team really needs to sit through the whole training to see and hear how it works, what the concerns are, and where there needs to be fidelity. As with PBIS, if we leave out the restorative practice part of this program, we lose a huge bang for the buck. And I'm not talking about money. I'm talking about positive change in students' lives. Like with PBIS, a part of PROACT has to do with including students in the debriefing. Like with PBIS, it's the restorative part of our restorative practices that continually get left out. Can we work to restore our restorative practices? Thank you.
Thank you.
Bruce Wheatley.
Good evening, Madam President, Dr. Avila, members of the board. I'm Bruce Wheatley of the Wheatley Institute. I have come to you asking for a favor, no cost. Just to give you a quick background really quick, in 1999, I was working for a mental health agency and discovered that kids were being inappropriately diagnosed with mental disorders who otherwise had behavioral issues. That practice continues to exist today. At no fault of your administrators, it is just a matter of circumstances that evolves in the California Welfare Institution Code and its definition for severely emotionally disturbed and criteria for services for the under 18 population. Unfortunately, for far too many African American students who grow up in very challenging circumstances where the family has been disrupted, by default, some of these kids are ending up in juvenile justice, special education, children family services. And so this is where stigma has begun to perpetuate itself as young people come of age and today really need supports and say, I don't need it because of what transpired while they were younger. So in 2020, we established an MOU, a no-cost MOU here with the school district to investigate universal prevention and early intervention. I'm pleased to announce that since that time, we've established partnerships with Loma Linda University School of Social Work, La Sierra University School of Social Work, and Cal State San Bernardino Valley College to implement what would be a social worker apprentice program. Now, Dr. Avila, I know you're a system thinker. I, as well, have been studying folks like Dr. Deming and his 14 points of management, Akoff and idealist design, Peter Sinjay and his mastery principles to conceptualize this opportunity to ultimately integrate social and emotional learning supports throughout K through 12. It's an innovation that's driven by the social worker apprentice program. So for your students, it would be a career technical approach. And ultimately, we're pairing our associate arts students with graduate students and bachelor's of social work students to deliver the non-clinical social and emotional learning supports. And so what this aligns with is the governor's initiative for modernizing the Mental Health Service Act, as well as future establishing careers for young people after high school. And so with that, I wanted to reach out to you all. You know, it's like I came here on horseback today. COVID hasn't been kind to our return either, but we somehow made it after 20 years. I wouldn't miss this opportunity.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Can I just,
No, sir.
thank you.
Thank you so much. We'll get the information. Thank you.
That is all we have.
Okay. Public comments on the agenda items. Any person wishing to speak on any item on the agenda will be granted 3 minutes.
We have Michael Montano.
Hello again. So on the agenda is report on the personnel report, and there's mention of Frank Garza, a personal friend of mine. And as the report reads, he's about to retire. When I think about Frank Garza, I'm reminded of a pen with a quote about life's journey. Although I won't read that quote, I will say that it definitely applies to Frank Garza. So I would just like to take the time and say, Mr. Garza, thank you for your 23 years of service to the Rialto Unified School District. As we just celebrated Veterans Day, thank you and all the veterans for your service. And most of all, thank you for being my friend. I wish you a long, joyful retirement. As one chapter of your journey comes to an end, the next chapter begins. Sauce. Thank you.
Thank you.
That is all we have.
Thank you. Comments from the association executive board members, Rialto Education Association, REA.
Good evening, board members, Superintendent Avila, President Lewis. I'd like to begin by thanking Dr. Avila for your very heartfelt comments at the last board meeting. We are very pleased to be working together with you and your team to solve problems and rebuild trust in this district. I'd like to also begin with a very heartfelt thanks to the leadership in the safety department. We just finished day 2 of our PROACT training. You heard REA Vice President Michael Montano talking about some of the stuff that happened there. It was really fantastic. We learn techniques to disrupt the assault cycle and how to de-escalate potentially violent situations. Our trainers did a great job, and we look forward to refining the training modules together so that all of our members will benefit. And so there's a process of feedback. So it's not just show up and receive this information, but it's really about that dialogue and developing something that will be beneficial for everyone. And I appreciate that. I was informed last week that I'm one of 36 employees that was overpaid from the beginning of the year, and I have to pay back the money that I was paid, about $600. So I've got a lot of members who are calling me to say, hey, I got this contact and they want me to pay back this money and wanting to understand this. I'm still not sure I completely understand how these things happen, but it's frustrating, and I want you to know that these things happen. And it wasn't just the teachers, but I believe there were some managers and some classified people that were also affected by this. But computer system, something jumped us down to a next year on the pay scale, and we got overpaid, and now we have to pay it back. Now, the good news is, because of the settlement we just did, my December paycheck is going to be large because it's got the retro pay back to July, but they're going to subtract off the money that I was paid inadvertently in the first few months. And so it's just frustrating, and people were concerned as they were receiving these calls and emails telling them, hey, you were overpaid, and now you have to pay it back. I'm visiting school sites right now. Now that we've finished our negotiations and all that, I've got a little more time, and I love that I'm getting a chance to talk with my teachers, meet with site administrators, and solve problems. And my goal is to, and I believe I'll achieve this, will be to have visited all 29 campuses before the winter break. And so I'm really enjoying that opportunity to get out to the school sites. REA also just hosted a town hall meeting for all of our special education teachers, and that meeting is going to lead to a series of smaller meetings with the subgroups within special ed. I'm having conversations with the people in special services, and again, it's all about solving problems. So our members come to us, we have these dialogues, they say these are things that we need help with, and then we talk to the leadership in the district, and we're solving problems, and I love that. The next group that wants to have those meetings is our dual language instruction teachers, and we've worked out an MOU with you on some issues, but there are still other issues that they want to talk about. They want to feel support, they want to feel heard, and so part of my job is to make sure that every group within my union has that opportunity, and so we're using technology to help us to do that. So some of these meetings are online, but we're also going to be having smaller subgroup meetings at our new office, and we're excited to have those conversations. And then the final piece is I'm wearing our new REA t-shirts. These will be going out to our 1,300 members. Our theme is Team REA. It says Stronger Together, and we have two hands clasped together that say Community United. And this is really our theme, is to bring everyone together and to work as a team to bring Rialto up in our community and to do good work. And so I just wanted to share that with you. Once we get the shirts out to our members, I believe we'll be coming to present each of you with a shirt as well, because you're also part of the team, and we want you to feel like you're part of the team. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Next, we'll have California School Employee Association, CSEA.
Good evening, Rialto Unified family. I'm Chris Cordasco, CSEA Chapter 203 President. Tonight I want to talk a little bit about help. I'm glad my REA partner talked about help. A lot of people think about unions and they don't necessarily have the greatest thoughts about what unions represent. And I want to let everyone know that that's not the truth. One of the biggest things the unions do for our members is provide that help. Solving problems, facing challenges, but also dealing with some personal issues. Many, many years ago, then President Dorothy Bjork created a fund in CSEA to help members who were in dire need financially, be it from a natural disaster or a personal medical situation. They recognized the need across the state that many of our members, as the lower paid employees in a school district, that sometimes we face financial dire straits. This fund is completely comprised of money by donations. Donations from members, donations from outside groups. Every year at conference, we pass the bucket. Every time there's a state meeting, we pass the bucket. And a couple weeks ago, I was able to attend a state training, and amongst 200 of us, we were able to raise $5,000. One of the other things that happens at conference is each chapter gets an opportunity to pledge money from its chapter. Over the years, Rialto 203 has been able to donate, but I have asked our executive board to do something to help increase that amount of money. So this year, we're going to be having a few things going on throughout the school year to try to raise money for the Dorothy Bjork Humanitarian Fund. The first thing is actually happening tomorrow evening at our chapter meeting. We're doing a bake sale. All proceeds will be going to the Dorothy Bjork Humanitarian Fund. We're going to hopefully do some of the same fundraisers that you see at our schools, such as have dinner at a certain restaurant and get a percentage. And we're going to do some different things to try to raise money. But I'd like to invite the board and anyone, teachers, admin, please come by. Rialto High has graciously agreed to host. We're going to be having it in the Knights Great Hall from 5 to 6. And I do have some flyers if you can pass that out across the board. If you have any questions, please contact me. Lastly, the end of the calendar year approaches. That always means the same thing for us in CSEA. It's elections time. This year I have 3 board positions up for re-election. Our nominations last round will be happening tomorrow. Also, our negotiating team and committee will be nominated tomorrow, and all voting will be happening in December. So we're looking forward to getting maybe some new members involved. As you know, CSEA Chapter 203 is comprised of just a little over 1,000 members. Hoping to see some new faces and get some new people involved. Get some new, fresh ideas at the negotiations table moving forward. Any members out there listening or watching, please, if you're interested, let me know by tomorrow. I will be sending out an email also tomorrow to all members. That's all I have for tonight. I hope everyone has a happy Thanksgiving and a safe holiday.
Thank you. Rialto School Managers Association, RSMA. Comments from our student board member.
So earlier today, I was at the DSAC meeting with the students, and Mr. Montes was our speaker for today. And he talked about appreciating culture, embracing our differences, and being the representation in communities. And this message really touched our hearts, and there were several students talking about this great message. Veterans Day was this past weekend, so thank you to all those who served for our country, and thank you to Kelly Elementary for that very adorable performance. On November 1st was the California State Seal of Biliteracy, and 274 students were at the ceremony. These students are highly proficient in English and other languages. This achievement is so beneficial because when we enter the workforce or even in casual conversations, we are able to communicate more effectively and appreciate diversity. I was also at the NAC conference in Palm Springs, and I was there and some other students from high schools and middle schools were able to try out food for our school lunches, so thank you to Nutrition Services. And lastly, fall break is approaching, so I hope everyone has a restful week, and happy early Thanksgiving.
Comments from our superintendent.
Thank you, President Lewis. Just congratulations once again. I know she's not with us right now, Mrs. Gloria Macias Harrison, for all her contribution to community and education and the mentorship, the wisdom that she has shared with me over the years. Thank you so much. Will deserve a recognition today from Mr. Martinez. And also just a big thank you to the Kelly Elementary kids and that touching song that they performed for us. Earlier today, I was at the County Superintendent of Schools Veterans High School graduation ceremony, and it was touching to see those who had served still be recognized, not just for the service, but also recognized for the education that was cut short because of their commitment to our country. And of course, our very own Gabriela Beatriz, our young lady who's in a wheelchair, sang the national anthem, and she rocked it once again for them. So it was really touching to be there. But also, on other good news, we had recently 274 of our seniors receive the California Seal of Biliteracy, including our very own Kane Galazzo. So congratulations to all those students. Recently, we also had 23 of our schools receive the PBIS award in various categories. So congratulations to those schools and the staff for all the hard work that's being done. I do agree that there's some adjustments that need to be made, and those were brought up earlier. And so we'll continue to work to strengthen the supports that we have for our students, because part of it is also just developing that character and that sense of responsibility to prevent poor behavior from manifesting all together. The week before, a team of us launched on a journey to visit the schools during Bookmania to read across the district, and that was exciting. Not only to see the kids' excitement, but just the level of excitement among the teachers promoting literacy in our community is very, very rewarding. Got a chance to participate a couple of weeks ago at Dia de los Muertos. That was our fourth, I believe, annual celebration, and it seems to get better each and every year. The excitement, the culture, community coming together to celebrate a tradition, again, was also very inspirational. Also attended Jehu Middle School as they had the ribbon cutting ceremony for their esports lab. That is our fifth middle school. So all of our middle schools have the esports labs now, all five.
Great. Congratulations.
And we'll continue to provide those and many other opportunities as options for students to pursue careers outside of the traditional options that they have. And yesterday I attended a debrief from a visit from state officials, again, at Jehu Middle School. Cannot announce it right now. It has to go through its process before it's official, but it's a recognition that's coming in the coming weeks will be revealed. So congratulations to the Jehu staff for everything that they're doing over there. And speaking of PBIS and safety, I would like for Chief Leary to give us a summary at this point in time before I conclude my comments.
Good evening, Board President Lewis, board members, Superintendent Dr. Avila, and to the viewing audience. My name is Gordon Leary, Chief of Safety Services. Hi, can you hear me now? Okay. And tonight I'd like to give you a brief update on where we are with the safety measure initiative regarding professional assault crisis training, which is PROACT. About a month ago, the district and REA sat down and came to a decision to put forth an initiative to provide PROACT training, starting with phasing it in, starting with our representatives from REA, the site representatives. And so the last 2 days, we have began that phase one of that. We had approximately 12 that were present in the training. And so what we were able to do was to focus on the basic principles of PROACT. And those principles are put in place to provide the participants with assessment skills, different approaches to working with and identifying the needs as well as the behaviors in a more accurate manner by utilizing those principles that are provided through PROACT. This would provide for our teachers the opportunity to be able to better assess the situation, and then also to look at what some of the other alternatives would be available to them to be able to help in a situation that might be escalating inside the classroom with a student. To look at what some of the alternatives are to be able to help that student to self-regulate and to be able to bring that situation back down to an area of baseline or normality. So we're very excited about where we're moving forward now with this, because this PROACT training that the teachers are now receiving is the same PROACT training that our officers have had in safety services for quite some time now. So we're excited because it puts us in the same place of operating from the same framework, and then being able to operate from a level of common communication, or another word would be a place of congruence, so that we're all speaking a similar language, and also we're all operating from the same playbook of how we are assessing our students, how we are approaching them, how we are looking at them. But the other part about this that's very helpful to the teachers is that it allows them to be able to also continue to operate from a place of self-control, so that they are not only looking at the student, but they're also being aware of their own behavior and how their behavior might contribute to possibly being a trigger or being aware of situations that are in their immediate surrounding that could be a trigger in that situation. So if nothing else, it provides with our teachers, our instructors in the classroom, to be able to enhance their observation skills, their assessment skills, and then their response to the situation more accurately to what's actually happening with the student in the classroom on a day-to-day basis, bringing them into a more closely aligned relationship with each of their students. This is exciting to us as officers because it allows us to be able to be a part of a much larger team that's working from the same playbook with all of our students, so that each of us working together are more likely to be able to provide the services and supports that our students need on a day-to-day basis. So I wanted to bring that information to you just to kind of give you an insight on where we're moving with this and what we expect to gain from this. And as we move forward, our next group of teachers will be coming to training in December. I believe it's the 5th and the 7th of December that we will be bringing forward our next group of teachers. And then ultimately the goal is in the beginning of 2024 is to begin to train all of our teachers from January through the month of June. And then in the summertime, we will be able to start focusing on our administrative teams.
Thank you, Chief.
Questions? Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
And just continuing briefly, in looking at our budget forecast, learned recently, I think it's tomorrow, Diane, that the final day to submit taxes, the state forecast, they say was a little bit overstated, but tomorrow they will have a better idea of what our budgets will initially look like come January with the governor's initial budget. But I say that because we continue to look for solutions to address the combination of discipline and safety on our campuses. I sit on a number of committees or are part of groups primarily of superintendents, and the issues that we face are faced in every school district to some degree or another. So it's safety is a concern, poor student behavior is a concern, drop in enrollment is a concern, chronic absenteeism is also a concern. And so we're looking at ways to address them locally, because I was part of a meeting last week, and I posed a question to a group of superintendents and board members whether or not CSBA, AXA, CTA at the state level, was there any conversation to discuss how do we balance student discipline with safety on our campuses. I certainly do not care to contribute to the school-to-prison pipeline, but also don't care to contribute to having unsafe campuses in our district. And so I didn't get much of a response, which simply led me to believe that that's something that state organizations, the state itself, is going to let districts handle locally. And I believe that we have the capacity to do it, the team to do it, the wherewithal to do it, in part because, as I mentioned Jehu the other day, earlier today, it reminded me of the book The Alchemist. And if you've read The Alchemist, the moral of the story is that the treasure is always at home. It's always local. We can travel the world looking for answers, but the answers are always within. And so Jehu, in looking at their data, it seems like they're doing some magic over there when it comes to suspensions and discipline alternatives to suspension in a way that maintains order on campus, and where students who, for one reason or another, misbehave are still provided the appropriate discipline, but also the appropriate supports to develop that character to hopefully not repeat poor decisions that they make. And so I will be looking at the team at JHU. You know, it's the largest middle school, and it's the one that we get the least complaints or concerns from. So there has to be something taking place at JHU that may not be taking place at other schools. And so I'll be meeting with administration staff, parents, to find out what is it about JHU that they're doing things differently in a more successful way. And again, I know when we talk about suspensions or attendance, it seems like we look at students as dollar signs. I see human beings that we are here to support and help develop into great humans. But it does take funding, it does take money to be able to operate our programs. And I say this because we're continuing to improve our instruction, so I thank Frank and his team working with site administration to help reduce the chronic absenteeism, because last year we were approximately at 91% attendance. In previous years, we hovered between 97 and 98. After COVID, you know, everybody experienced drastic reductions in attendance. But if we were to improve, right now we're at 93%. Every 1% attendance equates to $3.3 million. And so again, the more we are able to get students on our campuses, the more funding we will have to support additional programs. And so again, it's not that we don't want to suspend, we absolutely need to mete out the appropriate actions when students choose not to behave proper, but we also need to explore every possible way to make sure that we keep them on our campuses, still learning and still developing, because it can make a difference overall. Recently, I've been visiting schools quite a bit. We've been meeting with individual principals to have them present their plans for their schools, both instruction, safety, and otherwise. But in visiting schools, as I mentioned with JHU, and this is across the district, we come across classroom instruction that exceeds all expectations. And we have some amazing teachers, and given that it's Thanksgiving, I want to send a big shout out, a big thank you to them and the classified staff who are making a difference on our campuses. But there are two that I want to focus on tonight briefly, that in exceeding the expectation, they set new expectations for everybody else. And they have done it so gracefully, and I've seen these teachers over the years, and there's this love for teaching and there's love for learning in those classrooms. So I want to say thank you to Dr. Castro and thank you to Ms. Wallace, both at Kodiak Elementary, because you walk into their classrooms and you just see a completely different world. And I see this in other schools too, but I wanted to really thank them for all that they do for those kids in those classrooms. And with that, in watching them, it brought me to some quotes that I came across some years back, that I believe that they and many other of our teachers really connect with. And I'll just read a couple of them. It says, great teachers are the embodiment of what he or she professes. Credibility is the teacher's only credential. It says, a truly great teacher not only knows what is between the lines, but that there will always be other notes. Teaching is not a craft, it is an art. If the teacher is not learning, the teacher is not teaching. The teacher is always a mirror, never a lamp, never a master teacher, always a master learner. The great ones teach us to understand the understanding of ideas. Greater ones teach us to know ourselves, and the greatest teach us to live for truth. So thank you for all those teachers that are making a difference for our kids.
Thank you. Next, we'll have Board Member Dominguez.
Thank you so much. So I know most of the things that I wanted to speak about have already been said, so I don't want to repeat myself, but I do want to congratulate Rialto. High School's Royal Knight Regiment for their band for completing their first season since 2019 for their, they have officially finished, and they are ready to take a break and ready to come back next year nice and strong. The I can't pronounce it. Biliteracy seal, not only did these 274 students received it in Spanish, but most of those students also received it in German and French. So congratulations to them and also to Kane for receiving that award. Our JHU esports lab was amazing. I know that everybody automatically thinks video games and fun and what are they going to learn? Well, our kids are going to learn how to broadcast. Our kids are going to learn how to, do graphic design. Our kids are going to learn this new adventure of, cyber education. So it's going to be beneficial for them, and it's going to expand their horizon on what other careers they can choose and other pathways. Our Dia de los Muertos event was also very welcoming, very cultural, very special. It's very welcoming to know that all of our students in our districts, regardless of age, race, gender, whatever, they are learning about each other's culture. So that is also very nice to know that everybody is learning about each other's culture. So with our Thanksgiving break coming up, I wanted to touch on social emotional. Today, as you know, I am a part of the USC literacy class, and we were touching on social emotional learning. And kids that are socially emotional well, they do academically well in school, and it correlates a lot. They correlate well together. So, and they were talking about good habits and bad habits. So when we have a good day as adults, what do? We sit with a big pint of ice cream, or we do retail therapy. Well, technically, that's a bad habit. Does it make it feel good? Absolutely. But if we keep doing it, it's not going to be good for us. So we got to start having these conversations with our kids at a young age and remind them what are good habits, what are good coping habits. This microphone is really bad. It keeps getting off. So we got to keep talking to our kids about what are good coping habits and what are bad coping habits. So as a parent, I am taking on the responsibility of having this week off with them and talking to them what are good coping habits for stress and being emotionally well, and teaching them when they're stressed, when they're tired, like they talked about the big three. The big three is sleeping, eating, and sleeping, eating, and being happy. So as parents, I urge you to try to look up to have those conversations with your kids. And as the new year comes up, and as we're wrapping up this new year, I've been reading this book called Lean In. And they focus on the word ambition. So let's focus on the word ambition, despite of our gender, our race, social economics, and let's encourage each other to be ambitious. Walt Disney once said, the best way to get things started is stop talking about them and get them done. So let's finish this year nice and strong, and let's start next year stronger. So have a happy Thanksgiving. Have lots of turkey, ham, tamales, whatever you guys do. Everybody's different. So, and then be safe. Have a good evening.
Thank you. Next, we'll have Board Member Montez.
Thank you, Board President Ms. Lewis. Well, I just want to ditto on what everybody else said, but I'll just go ahead and recap a few of those things. First and foremost, congratulations to Frank Garza, former counselor at Rialto High School when I first met him. And then maybe he became a counselor over at the adult school where he is finally retiring. What an impressive track record, 34 years in education, 23 of those years here with the Rialto Unified School District. I just, want to give him a big thank you for his service, not only in the military armed forces, but also for his service here with us to this community. we're gonna miss you, Frank. We know that he'll still be around. He doesn't live too far from here, so drop in and visit us every now and then. And in the words of Frank Garza, "Sas." I want to also just congratulate again Mrs. Gloria Macias Harrison. I don't know if Mr. Martinez realizes, he probably does, but Mrs. Gloria Macias Harrison is considered a Latina chingona.
Yeah, this is true.
And for those of you who don't know what that word means, it comes from the word machine gun. So during the revolution, the 1910 revolution, the machine guns first came out, and people who couldn't pronounce machine guns would say machine gun, machine gun, machine gun. So that's where the word comes from. But for those of us who know what it means somebody that is kick butt. And she's definitely a butt kicker. So thank her for her many years of service and good work in the community and El Chicano newspaper, and just being really one of the first, in our communities here to really get into journalism and the newspaper. So big thank you to her and her family. I want to also thank the chief for giving us an update on the PROACT training. The teachers have been asking for training for themselves for a long time, before this. Some of us on the board had been asking for some type of professional training. I myself went through a similar type of training years ago, and it was called PART training, which was professional assault response training. Very similar, but, I'm sure nowadays, that was a while ago, so I'm sure nowadays everything's a lot more, newer and more advanced. So kudos to the chief and everyone at the Safety and Security Department that are helping partner with their teachers and getting as many people trained in PROACT as possible. You don't know, it's something that you don't know how important it is or how valuable it is until you do it. Sometimes adults are in a situation where there's a fight all of a sudden broke out and some people don't know what to do. They don't know what to do. They're afraid to do the wrong thing. They're afraid to not do nothing at all and be blamed. And like the chief said, at the very least, even if they get something out of the training, which is, an observation skill, an awareness skill, anything that can help them in any way, de-escalate the situation or not become, another trigger for more violence. I think it's awesome. So thank you, Chief, again. Thank you, Dr. Avila, and everybody that's taking part in that. And I encourage as many people as possible, not just teachers, but as many staff members as possible to take part in this type of training. A fight could break out amongst the staff, and somebody needs to stop it. I want to also congratulate all the students who received the biliteracy seal. What an awesome accomplishment to receive that. It's one thing to just be fluent, bilingual and fluent in 2 languages or more, but it's another thing to get a sealed certification that you can read and write, and you're proficient in 2 or more languages, right? That's awesome. I was joking around with the student speakers today, and I said, hey, there's nothing wrong with being monolingual. There's a lot of people walking around that are monolingual. That's okay. Those people just speak 1 language. But if you're bilingual, if you're trilingual, if you know more languages, even better. It shouldn't be looked at as something negative to be bilingual. If anything, they have an advantage over the monolingual people, right? And I want to also just say that I'm very sorry to our district and to the community. I could not be present for the Dia de los Muertos celebration here that the district had. I seen the posts. They look beautiful. I heard from students and parents. They had a great time, staff members. And I just wish I could have been here with you guys to celebrate it. I was here in spirit, but unfortunately I had to go out of the country for a family matter. And I actually got to spend Dia de los Muertos in a very magical place for Dia de los Muertos, which is in the state of Michoacan, Mexico, in the historic center of the capital city of Morelia. And they go all out on Dia de los Muertos. The movie Coco doesn't got nothing on them. That state actually grows the cempasúchil, campesúchil flower, the orange flower that's used, that a lot of people use for Dia de los Muertos. That state, more than any other state in Mexico, grows that flower. And they just ship it all over the country and all over the world. So it was really beautiful to see that over there, experience it over there. And then last but not least, happy Thanksgiving to everyone. Well, it is history, Native American history. I gotta put in my little pun and just remind people that what some people give thanks for, or happy to give thanks for, other people are reminded of the happy Thanksgiving that took place of indigenous people back in the days. And and I just want to send a prayer out to all the indigenous people who see this time as a time of mourning and hurt, but also recognize that it's a good opportunity to get with your families and friends, eat some turkey, have a good time, and just really have that bonding family time, right? So happy Thanksgiving to everybody again, and have a safe fall break. Thank you.
Thank you. And next we'll have Board Clerk, Mr. Martinez.
Thank you, President Lewis. First thing, I want to recognize Kiwanis Students of the Month, which we celebrated last evening at the Professional Development Center at Chavez Huerta. And from Carter, Riley Orlando and Sydney Pollard. From Eisenhower, Decree Antone and Antonio Navarro. From Myler, Isaac Villanueva and Mariana Zoroyan. From Rialto High School, Samuel Lamas and Wendy Ramirez Huerta. These students, yes, please, students definitely deserve attention. But something is going on, and I see over the years, I've been here 15 years, and the students have really learned a lot. They have stepped up their learning, the way they present themselves. A good example is our student board member, Escalazo. You look at each board member, and they seem to get better and better and better. I look at the student of the month, and they seem to get better and better and better. And I look back, and all I can say is that something is going on in a positive way throughout Rialto. And it's a group effort. It can't be just the teachers or the classified. It is a group effort because we are changing lives for the better. At the J. Hugh Esports ribbon cutting, one of the vendors was there making sure everything was working properly. But he took me aside and said, and I quote, "Some of these students will graduate high school with an offer of a six-figure salary. A six-figure salary is $100,000. Not bad for a senior in high school. And it isn't just playing games. Do a search for esports. It'll give you everything. PROAC training, our vets, Thanksgiving, the Biliteracy Awards, so much going on. And it comes down to one word here. We all are being watched every minute of the day by someone. It could be our neighbor, it could be our students, it could be other board members, but we are sending a message, setting the tone for someone, and it can be a positive or a negative. So what I'm trying to leave you with is Rialto is setting the tone of improvement for students and their lives. What their future looks like is supposed to be brighter. So the word legacy comes to mind. So we, as individuals and corporately, as Rialto Unified School District, are setting the tone and leaving the legacy for our students of improvement and teaching them how to change their lives for the better. It could be the seal of biliteracy. It could be anything, talking about the vets. We are free to do anything in this country as long as it's legal. And that seems to change depending on the day. But it comes down to you are responsible to your culture, to your community. So before you act or don't act, remember what legacy you're going to be leaving, because you are impacting somebody. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
President Lewis, if I may,
Oh, sure.
Board Member Galazzo wants to leave us at this point. So
Yes.
by all means, and before you take off, this Sunday, Mr. Martinez celebrates his 32nd birthday. So if we can sing happy birthday for him while you're still here. So happy birthday to you.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Martinez. Happy birthday to you. Cha cha cha.
And that's
many
32nd
more.
birthday for at least the, oh my goodness, 2.4 time?
2.4 time.
Anyway, thank you, everyone. It's more embarrassing in a corporate venue.
Oh, well deserved. And you know what we're feeling in the air and what we're sensing in our bones is the Rialto pride. I am just so amazed of all the academic excellent achievement. There was a marble roller coaster, UCR Mesa. The Knights was in #1 spot. We also had the Cyber Patriotic Patriots competition, Eisenhower. We had the third graders went on amazing field trips. All our third graders went on a field trip. Frisbee, 100 students, the StepCon, the technology in Riverside. I mean, we are really promoting our academic. We are excelling in areas. Carter High, roller coaster. And I was just really very, very supportive in the social work, working with, social workers are valuable, and having that internship and having that connection and having a training from very, very prestigious institution and partnering with our district. This is a time that we're celebrating our psychologists and their counseling, and social workers right in there. They're the team. So it's really a positive thing for our partnership, and we look forward to that. Also, our positive behavior. So many schools, gold, silver, bronze. I felt we were at the Olympics. We were rocking the whole new way of really trying to get to the root cause. And sometimes when you get to the root cause, it goes even deeper. And that's where you have to say, as a school, we have to really work in conjunction with outside resources, because they have to deal with outside of the school, the family issues and things like that. I really enjoy the safety updates that you have been given to us, Superintendent, through your moments of updating us to really hear from the source. I appreciate REA and their new T-shirt and the message of really working together, looking for those highlights. And boy, my heart went out with the communication CSEA, of really letting your members know that you're here for them. You know, at this time, a lot of times it's the hardest thing is to ask for help when you're a working person. People assume, I'm working, I should be able to take care of everything, but everyone needs some help, and really having, that bake sale, well, I'll probably eat it if I buy it. But, these are the foundations of not only that we help our students, but we have to help our staff. And with the pride, you really don't want to ask for help. So making that available, I just really excited about just looking on our media, our website, our Instagram. It's always lighting up of all this positive activity, but we're not hiding what we're working on. So Superintendent, thank you for explaining about the budget, about the cost, about the attendance, the factor, the balance, where we want to maintain if you think it's hard for a child at school, it's twice as hard at home. So when those behaviors are showing up at school, you have to imagine what's really going on. So this safety net that the public school offered is difficult. It's hard. But then also on the teacher end of allowing them, empowering them. And each time we have that class offered at the hospital, people say, no, I don't even want to know how to do it. Just call the security. So your willingness to get out of your comfort zone and really say, you know what, I need to recognize, I need to learn, I need to be objective, I need to push it to that opportunity is, that's amazing. That's amazing. Most people say, I didn't sign up for that, but we know what we're dealing with, and it's better to be armed with information, with tactics, and with ways to solve a problem or ask for help or step away from a problem. And so that's what these courses that we're sort of training people for. So with an attitude of gratitude, I was going to say happy, and you said thanks taken. I never heard that one before, but I guess if you think about it.
Just a little bit.
Just a little bit.
Just a little
so I'm just going to say with our spirit of gratitude, I know everyone's looking for a break, to recharge, to renew. I look forward to everyone coming back, recharge, renew, relax, and ready to just rock the rest of the year. And so, Martha, let's go ahead and roll with it.
Thank you, President Lewis. So we're going to move on to public hearing. We're going to open public hearing. Any person wishing to speak on an item on the public hearing agenda will be granted 3 minutes. We have none. Do we have a motion?
So move.
Second.
Okay, Board Member Dominguez?
Aye.
Board Member Montez?
Aye.
Board Clerk Martinez?
Aye.
And aye.
And the time is 8:54. The Rialto Education Association 2023-2024 Initial Adult Education Proposal. Pursuant to the requirements of Government Code and Board Policy, the attached initial contract proposal for the 2023-2024 school year submitted by the Rialto Education Association Adult Education for an agreement between the Rialto Education Association Adult Education and Rialto Unified School District Board of Education is hereby posted in compliance with the legislative requirements for public notice. We'll move forward to close public hearing. Do we have a motion?
So move.
Second.
Okay. Vote by Board Member Dominguez.
Aye.
Board Member Montez.
Aye.
Board Clerk Martinez.
Aye.
And aye.
Time is 8:55. We move on to G3 and we'll open public hearing again. We have no public comments. Do we have a motion?
So move.
Second.
Vote.
Vote by Board Member Dominguez.
Aye.
Board Member Montez.
Aye.
Board Clerk Martinez.
Aye.
And aye.
Time is 8:56. This is the Rialto Unified School District's initial 2023-2024 proposal to Rialto Education Association Adult Education. Pursuant to the requirements of government code and board policy, the attached initial contract proposal for the 2023-2024 school year submitted by the Rialto Unified School District for an agreement between the Rialto Education Association Adult Education and the Rialto Unified School District Board of Education is hereby posted in compliance with the legislative requirements for public notice. We will close public hearing. Do we have a motion?
So move.
Second.
Vote.
Vote by Board Member Dominguez.
Aye.
Board Member Montez.
Aye.
Board Clerk Martinez.
Aye.
And aye.
Time is 8:56, and we'll move on to consent calendar items. All items on the consent calendar will be acted upon in one motion unless pulled by Board of Education members or the superintendent for individual action.
Do we have any pulls?
Do we have a motion?
So move.
Second.
Vote.
Board Member Dominguez.
Aye.
Board Member Montez.
Aye.
Board Clerk Martinez.
Aye.
And aye.
Okay, we move on to discussion action items. Item F1, amendment number 4 to the agreement with HMC Architects for extended architectural engineering services for the special education renovation project at the district office. Motion?
Second.
This item is in the amount of $97,692.50 for a total revised contract amount of $385,450.50 and extended the contract duration through December 31st, 2023, and to be paid from Fund 40 Special Reserve Capital Outlay Projects.
Any questions or discussion? Do we have any question for discussion? Okay. Vote by Board Member Dominguez.
Aye.
Board Member Montez.
Aye.
Board Clerk Martinez.
Aye.
And aye.
Item F2, approve a renewal agreement with the Center for Culturally Responsive Teaching and Learning with Dr. Hiroki Hawley. Motion?
So moved.
Second.
Provide the culturally and linguistically responsive instructional support and development for 8 schools effective November 16, 2023 through June 30th, 2024 at a cost not to exceed $72,000 and to be paid from the general fund.
Vote by Board Member Dominguez.
Aye.
Board Member Montez.
Aye.
Board Clerk Martinez.
Aye.
And aye.
Item F3, adopt resolution number 232428 declaring its official intent to reimburse project expenditures with proceeds of certificates of participation in related actions. Motion?
So move.
Second.
Discussion?
Any questions or discussion? Comments? Okay. Vote by Board Member Dominguez.
Aye.
Board Member Montez.
Aye.
Board Clerk Martinez.
Aye.
And aye.
Item F4, adopt resolution number 232429, annual developer fees report and annual accounting of developer fees for the fiscal year 2022-2023.
So move.
Second.
Any questions, discussions, comments? Vote by Board Member Dominguez.
Aye.
Board Member Montez.
Aye.
Board Clerk Martinez.
Aye.
And aye.
Item F5, adopt resolution number 232430, continued funding application with the State of California Department of Education contract for state preschool program for the 2023-24 school year.
So move.
Second.
Question or discussion? Comments? I have a comment. This program has been amazing. Just visiting some of the classroom sites, the energy, and really giving those children an early head start. Vote by Board Member Dominguez.
Aye.
Board Member Montez.
Aye.
Board Member Martinez.
Aye.
And aye.
Item F4, adopt resolution number 232431. I apologize. Item F6, adopt resolution number 232431, remuneration. Do we have a motion?
So move.
Second.
Excuse the absence of Board Vice President Nancy G. O'Kelly from the Wednesday, October 25th, 2023 regular meeting of the Board of Education.
Vote by Board Member Dominguez.
Aye.
Board Member Montez.
Aye.
Board Clerk Martinez.
Aye.
And aye.
Item F7, adopt resolution number 232432, authorizing the purchase of vans, trucks, and/or similar cargo vehicles and related actions. Do we
So
have a
move.
Second.
Question or discussion? I have a question. What is the procedure when you take a vehicle out of service? Is it so many years you have to decommission?
Diane.
We have a process within Transportation Services where our mechanics do an inspection. And because they are our certified automobile professionals, when they deem a car not to be usable, then we bring it out of our inventory and we surplus it.
Oh, surplus it, okay. And that sale is what, no, I'm just. Okay, vote by Board Member Dominguez.
Aye.
Board Member Montez.
Aye.
Board Clerk Martinez.
Aye.
And Lewis, aye.
We move on to item F8, administrative hearings. Do we have a motion?
So moved.
Second.
This is for case numbers 232424, 232423, 232422, 232411. Discussion?
No discussion. Vote by Board Member Dominguez.
Aye.
Board Member Montez.
Aye.
Board Clerk Martinez.
Aye.
And aye.
Item F9, stipulated hearings. Do we have a motion?
So move.
Second.
For case numbers 232428, 232427, and 232415.
Okay, vote Board Member Dominguez.
Aye.
Board Member Montez.
Aye.
Board Clerk Martinez.
Aye.
And aye.
We move to adjournment. The next regular meeting of the Board of Education of the Rialto Unified School District will be held on December 13th, 2023 at 7 p.m. at the Dr. John Casalunas Education Center at 182 East Walnut Avenue, Rialto, California. Materials distributed or presented to the Board of Education at the board meeting are available upon request from the superintendent's office.
So moved.
Second.
All right. Board Member Dominguez.
Aye.
Board Member Montez.
Aye.
Board Clerk Martinez.
Aye.
And aye at 9:04.